It's time to get prehistoric. Let's jump in. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Snap Academy. I'm Muse, and today the developer update just dropped, and this is kind of my live reaction to everything. I watched through it once. I'm going to kind of just go through and just kind of break it all down as I see it, drop the cards, get the and just again my initial thoughts. So starting off, we have our season pass card, Agamotto. He is a 5/10, and at the start of the game you are going to add 4 ancient arcana into your deck. I'm really excited for this card. I think it's going to be super fun. I've already been brewing with it a little bit, trying to figure it out. We're going to be live on Tuesday when the card drops. Make sure you're there. We're going to do a lot of fun live things on at the season drop. We're going to have our giveaways. Make sure you check out that video so you can get in on the action. That way you can get in on the action, and we'll stay tuned. We'll be doing another one. That way you can get in for the next season as well, and then everything we're doing for Twitch. So Agamotto himself, I assume he's going to be a big bad. He's going to have the 4 ancient arcana that you're pulling. They didn't really say a lot about them other than what they do. We do have our data mines, which we can kind of get some information off of maybe, but do have their powers finalized. So jumping into those, we have the Winds of Watum, Temporal Manipulation, Images of Icon, and the Bolts of Balthak. I think that these are going to be very, very powerful. Again, I've been kind of brewing a little bit, and I think the Images of Icon is going to be my favorite. Transform other cards here into copies of the highest powered one. I'm really thinking about a big turn 6, so what I want to do is kind of fill up the board a little bit. I think I want to do some Mysterio, Sasquatch stuff, get that down, and then have a couple options for cards that we can play. And then ideally having that big 13 Agamotto after you've played the Temporal Manipulation. So he's a 13 in a lane while you have 2 smaller cards. And then you can drop in on turn 6 the Images of Icon so that all your other cards become that big 13. And then use this other Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, to pull over one of those to win another lane. I think that's really where I'm going to start brewing. And I am really excited about it because it's a totally different thought, different feel. The Bolts of Balthak, giving you that little extra energy so you can't have that really big explosive, probably turn 5 or turn 4 if you're playing this on turn 3. I'm assuming it's a 3, get 4 energy next turn. Again, they didn't really show anything in the developer updates, but you can have some cool big explosive plays, and even getting out Agamotto himself a couple turns earlier and then being able to play those other small things. I think Firehair might also go good in this, maybe doing a destroy package, but we'll really see. I'm giving this a 4 stars right now. I think it's definitely going to be super fun. I think people are going to have a great time playing it. I think there's going to be a lot of different decks that come out of it. Moving on, they showed Starbrand. He is what we saw in the data mines with that 3/10. Your opponent has +3 power at each other location. Now that we live in kind of a post-Surtur nerf world, I think Starbrand might slip in as another 3-drop in that deck to kind of do that old Surtur role of being able to proc that Scar a little bit more efficiently. Possibly even knocking Surtur out of that spot, as the Starbrand is going to be kind of taking that spot, but I think you still want that scaling into Surtur. But this is kind of another guaranteed hit for the Scar to get him down to that 1 cost at least. Probably what you're going to get on average, he's going to be kind of that 3/12 kind of deal. But this is obviously going into a Scar Surtur deck and just kind of helping out that Surtur as he did get nerfed. But also Sauron 0, I think we're going to see a little bit kind of a bring in on that. And then honestly, another card that helps out Iron Patriot. So kind of as we're seeing these different cards and just those options, I think that they're all probably going to work together, and kind of stay tuned for that every season card deck that I want to build with this. I think it's going to be super fun, especially with some of the other things. So stay tuned for that video. But again, not a lot going on. He's a big beat stick. There you go. If you want to get in our season pass giveaway, we're doing it for the next season. That way, plenty of people have an opportunity to get in, join the channel. We are still doing our season pass for the Ancient Avengers season live. Make sure you check out that video so you know how to get in on it. And for this one, just timestamp where your favorite card for the season is. That way, and say a little bit about it, why you're excited about it. Are you going to use your tokens? Are you excited for the week? Just let me know in the comments. Say hi. I love to respond to everybody. So, you know what to do. Let's continue. Up next, we have Firehair. She is a 2/3, which I think is a great stat line for her. When one of your cards is destroyed, this uses that card's on reveal. So she's kind of another, and by this I mean she's definitely another Misery card. I think she's going to go great in a Misery deck, and the Misery Ronin build is what I'm really most excited for. Being able to Misery that Korg, that Hood, get some value back, the Iceman, do it again, and really cause a lot of disruption and put more things in their deck. And I think this is going to be a fantastic kind of like Ronin Misery build. That was actually one of my first decks, was the Misery version of Ronin. And this is another card that's going to slip right in there along with Gorgon, kind of causing a whole lot of hand manipulation, making those Sentinels that you're putting in their hands 3 costs. So it's a whole lot more devastation. And if you're adding those, 3 times, their hand's going to be full of Sentinels. They're not going to get a whole lot of draws. And I'm really excited for that deck when we do get Firehair. I'm giving Firehair 5 stars. Honestly, this is probably my favorite card of... okay, yeah, definitely my favorite just because it's going to go into my favorite deck. But, no, definitely 5 stars. I think it's going to be very competitive. I think this is going to bring Misery up even further than she already is in kind of a meta relevancy. And stay tuned for that deck. It's going to be awesome. Then we have Khonshu. This is my second favorite card of the season. He is a 6/5. When discarded, returns to its next phase. There are 3 phases of Khonshu. And then on reveal, resurrect a card you discarded to another location with its power set to 5, then 8, then 12. They did a fantastic job of kind of showcasing Khonshu, bringing back cards, and I think it's going to be kind of a different version of Hela, or even just another way to, add into a Hela deck for more power. I definitely think with Scar being buffed for Hela to that 7 cost, making Hela a lot more kind of easily accessible, easier to play, and I think Khonshu could be an alternate win condition. Being able to discard him a few times if you didn't get Hela as another way. You just have to discard them 3 times, and then honestly 1 other card once. So if you do hit your Iron Man, get the Khonshu off. I also really like playing Hela with Corvus Glaive and Odin, being able to do a few things so that you can discard multiple things, and then Khonshu being able to bring back one of those things as a 12 after doing all of that, and then hitting Hela again and again. I feel like that could be super powerful playline, and honestly, standalone card for sure, but also I feel like a little Hela playground here, a little magical Christmas land. So super excited for this one as well, giving it a 4 stars. All right, a little middle editing of Muse here. I was waiting to see if we got a little bit more information on the first Ghost Rider who's dropping with high voltage, and we were incorrect. We are not going to get the negative off of the goblins or anything, so there goes that archetype. But the rest of the data mine was correct. He is a 2/6. On reveal, discard the lowest power card from your hand. Remove that card's power from this. So anything less than 0, he's going to stay at a 2/6, and anything greater than that, you're going to take off This is a card that is going to target Gore. Again, another Hella card. I feel like there's a lot of kind of possible Hella cards going on. I am excited for this. This is, you know, a big card. It's going to target what you want, and targeted discard is exactly what discard wants and needs. So we will see this card during high voltage, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to give it... this is probably a 5-card discard card. 5-card discard card. 5-star card discard card. We got there eventually. Definitely 5 stars. It's going to, especially with it being free with high voltage, a must pick up, and is going to be probably a new staple, better than Colleen Wing in all discard decks that want it. And then finally we have Eson. He is a 6/10 end of turn. Put a created card from your hand here. Ideally, you're going to want to hit wave, put this guy out. I don't know what the deck that they were playing in the developer update, getting all of these cards in hand and then having Eson and then pulling for 3 turns. A little wild, but I think that Eson's best friend might be the newly buffed White Queen. Her having, you know, that 1 less energy, you know, that you need to put in. You can do a wave on 3, a Eson on 4, and then you drop a White Queen plus a Mirage turn. So then that Eson is going to pull something down. You want it in its own lane, so that way it's just pulling cards. You get maximum output, and you're not really worried about it. Just kind of let it do its thing. With the White Queen, you're grabbing their biggest power thing. It's probably got a lot of power to it, so that could be an auto win location while you focus on using your other cards that you've generated. Maybe a Vicky Hand version of this could be super cool, and play those on other areas. I'm giving Eson I'm giving him a 3. You know, I think it's a little gimmicky. It's definitely a card that you put in your Airsham deck. They are both Celestials, and again, 3. Not excited for it. Some cool deck building for sure. A little bit of shield archetype and Airsham, and you know, that's what we got. So if you want to stay up to date with all of our Snap content, if you love these kind of quick overviews and deck techs, we do those for every single new card every week. We are live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central, all the way until we're done, making sure that we are hitting the new card, having a great deck, getting ready for the video. So, snap those like and subscribe buttons, and happy snapping.
That kind of rocked, right?
Ben, we almost died.